Hello everybody, this is Axter99. Welcome to another new relationship video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about, what to do if you want your ex back. You've decided you miss them. You want them in your life again. But this time, in this video, we're talking about if you were the dumper. You were the person that ended the relationship, or maybe it was kind of a mutual decision, but you were the first person to bring up the idea of breaking up. Maybe you were the person that said you needed more time. Maybe you were seeing somebody else or had somebody else on your mind. And since the breakup, you've decided that, your ex that you left behind is worth a whole lot more to you than whoever this new person is. Maybe it was a relationship that for whatever reason, ended badly with a lot of conflict and fighting and arguing because of something that was that was, you would say, is your fault. Maybe you were working too much or ignoring your ex or not giving them enough time. Maybe you were nagging them too much or demanding too much from them. Maybe you were always on them and you just, you broke up because you got tired of hurting them or arguing with them. Could be a lot of different reasons, but you were the person that broke up with your ex and now you want them back. This is a tough situation because, first of all, I know firsthand how hard it is to be the person that has to hurt somebody else. You thought it was the right decision to make, whether for yourself or for them, for him or her, whoever your ex was, and you tried to do the best thing. Tried to maybe, just break apart and let them, maybe you thought they would be happier without you. Maybe you thought you'd be happier without them. Maybe you did it for both of you. But now you realize that you're missing them. You want them back in your life. And how are you going to get them back in your life after you've broke their heart? Especially in a situation where they may not have expected you to break up with them, or if it was a conflict because you were doing something wrong. Maybe you were, again, neglecting them in some way, and you ended up breaking up because they started asking questions. That's a situation that happens all too often. So I got to be quite frank and honest. You really got to look at the length of your relationship, first of all. If it was a relationship of less than a month, and now you're looking at it's been more than a month since you broke up, the chances of you getting your ex back are probably pretty slim. But if you had a relationship of like 3 months or longer, and it was a good relationship where you saw a lot of each other and you really felt like it was special in some way, like maybe you loved them, did they tell you they loved you? Was it something that had a deep root? Were you guys, you know, sharing intimate details with each other about your lives, about your dreams, about your fears? Did you know each other really, really well deep down? And if it was a relationship like that that was really special, and it was longer than 3 months, it's still going to be a thing where time is going to work against you. The more time that goes by since that breakup, the less the chance that you're going to have of regaining your ex that you left behind. The reason is quite simple. The more time that goes by that they have to reflect on how you broke up with them, feel how you did them wrong, and maybe find somebody new, that's going to work against you. So, I'm not telling you that if you're thinking about getting your ex back, that you should rush back and say, hey, let's get back together. I would definitely recommend waiting at least a few weeks. Because if you broke up with them, both you and your ex need time to reflect. And I highly advise giving yourself at least like 3 weeks for both of you to kind of breathe, especially in a situation where there was a lot of fighting and conflict and bickering back and forth. You definitely need to give both of you at least 3 weeks, maybe a month or more, to kind of breathe, to kind of think things through and see maybe where each of you went wrong. and what you could have done better. Another thing you really want to do before you reach back out to your ex is make sure that you know that they are the one you want back in your life, that you're not going to do the same thing again, that you're not going to, start dating them again and start feeling the same way. Realize people don't really change. So if you're expecting your ex to, be something they weren't or change in some dramatic way, that's likely not going to happen. You're likely to get the same person back, whether it's, he or she, and they're going to be pretty similar. They're probably also going to trust you a lot less because, in the end, you broke their heart. And when you do that, you typically break their trust. So you got to go in understanding that, if you go back to them, you're going to have to go about it very slow, very carefully. You're going to have to tread those waters very easy. You don't want to go back. The last thing you want to do if you've waited 3 weeks or a month and you're sure that you want your ex back, the last thing you want to do is give them a call or send them a text or send them a long email pouring your heart out. You don't want to do that for sure, because that's likely to have the complete opposite effect of what you're hoping. Another thing you definitely don't want to do is to try to buy their heart back. You don't want to be sending them gifts and presents or flowers or anything like that, because that is very likely to backfire on you in your attempt to win their heart. They're going to see that as, cheap. They're going to see that as you thinking that money can re-earn the trust that you lost, and that you think that money is going to mend scars and the heart that you broke. So what you need to do if you want your ex back, no matter how it happened, whether it happened with a lot of fighting, whether it happened, just because you decided you wanted to find somebody new, you thought the grass was greener on the other side, whatever the deal was that made you decide to break up with them. And I understand you probably put a lot of thought into breaking up with them before it happened. But now it sounds like you realize you might have made a mistake or you wouldn't be watching this video. So again, we need to be really careful, because with the time that is needed for both of you to analyze the relationship and what all happened, they're likely going to have found reasons why it's best that they might move on without you. And I'm not saying that he or she isn't going to be happy to hear you reach out to them. They probably will, especially if you haven't talked to them since the breakup. So if you haven't talked to them at all, and it's been at least 3 weeks, as I highly recommend, give them that space. If you break up, give yourself that space to make sure you have the clarity in knowing that they really are the man or woman that you want back in your life. You want to be sure. The last thing you want to do is hurt them again or hurt them more. But once you're sure, it's time to move. Because again, after that 3 weeks or a month, every day that you wait, every week, every month that you wait is going to make it less and less likely that you're going to be able to win their heart back. Because as we move away from a relationship like that, people tend to find and meet new people. People tend to move on in their life. So I think that, 3 weeks or a month, maybe up to 6 weeks is a good amount of time to wait. But if you've waited, 9 months or a year or longer, and now you're looking to win your ex back, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, your chances are probably very slim. So it's very important that if you're watching this video and you are thinking that you want your ex back, time is of the essence. Now, when you make contact with your ex, I would highly recommend not calling, okay? I would highly recommend either sending them an email if you know their email address, or sending a text message to their phone number, because most people have smartphones nowadays. Or if you guys had some kind of a chat application, something like that, that would probably be the best way to go ahead and send an icebreaker. And what I mean by an icebreaker is something not like, the last thing you want to do right now is go in here and trip over your own feet and maybe make an idiot of yourself and feel really silly by saying something like, oh my God, I miss you, I love you so much, or I want you back, or you know, maybe even I'm sorry is too much. Okay, it depends on how it ended. I'm sorry could be a great 2 words to say, you know, especially if you feel like you really were wrong in how you broke up with them. You know, if you felt like you really hurt them, maybe if you cheated on them, or you know, you broke up with them and you told them that you were breaking up with them to see somebody else. In a situation like that, I'm sorry could be the first perfect 2 words to say. You know, something like maybe I'm sorry, I hope you're well. But no more than that. Keep these messages, the first message you send them, the icebreaker that you send them, you want it to be really short, really sweet, and nothing like I miss you or I love you. Not yet. I'm sorry if you really feel like you were really wrong and how you hurt them might be good. But otherwise, if it was just kind of a breakup, if you guys kind of talked about things and you said, hey, I feel like I need to break up with you because I need to move on, or I got to go away to school or something like that, then just saying something like, hey, I was thinking about you. I hope you're well. Hi, how are you doing? Something really, really simple like that. Nothing too emotional. Just, hey, how are you? I hope you're well. Or I'm sorry if you really did them wrong. You know, you would know in your heart if you feel like you did them wrong. Okay? After that, you want to give them at least 2 days, if not 3, before you do anything else. Okay? You want to wait and see how they respond to you. Now, even if they respond to you and they say, hey, I'm really great, how are you? Or I'm doing okay. Well, that might be a typical response you'd get back. They're probably going to match your level, you know, at that first message that you respond. So don't feel heartbroken or upset if they don't come back at you saying, you know, crying and pleading and begging to get you back. Because by this point, they've probably maintained, or not maintained, but regained their self-worth, probably feeling a little bit more confident, and it might even be possible that they've decided that life is better without you now. Even if they haven't decided that, it's really unlikely that they're going to take that chance on running back to you and screaming, I love you, I miss you, and risk tripping over their own 2 feet. So this is going to be a really filling out process for your ex. And what you're really looking to do in this situation is start off really short and sweet, and over the coming days, build up, you know, the text messages like I don't ever say I miss you or I still love you or anything like that. Not in text messages. This is something you want to do in person. So these messages are like, you know, you just want to be really cool. You want to act like you're still really confident in your decision to break up with them. Unless, of course, you're sending that I'm sorry message because you feel like you did them wrong. But even in that situation, you still want to act like you're pretty happy with your decision and that, you know, you're standing tall on your own 2 feet without them. Because it's very likely or possible that they're going to let you know, hey, I've met somebody else. Hey, I'm doing great. You know, last thing you want to do is be on your knees, plugging in, you know, begging and pleading for their heart back. You don't want to play the fool here, especially with something this important, because that would really hurt your chances of getting your ex back ever. No, you definitely don't want to play that part, especially after you made such an important decision to break up with them. But I hope that I'm making sense here. And you know, once you start getting a few text messages and you start feeling your ex back out, you know, try to be a little bit witty, a little bit funny, maybe bring up something that you two shared. It seems like every couple has those little things. They have those little experiences that they share together that kind of make you both laugh. Maybe that funny moment, or that, you know, time you guys were ice skating and you both fell down at the same time, and you know, whatever it was that you can look back and laugh on. Those would be little teeny reminders, you know, that you might want to talk about or bring up in the coming days after that first text, if they respond. Now, if they don't respond and it's been 3 days or more and they haven't responded to that first text message, at this point, you're probably going to want to maybe reach out one more time and just say something like, hey, I just wanted to know and let you know I still care about you. I was thinking about you and I hope you're doing well. Something like that. Again, no mushy stuff. And they, you know, maybe you want to tell them, please reach out to me if you ever want to talk. Something like that. And that's about it. And then at that point, you're probably going to want to leave them alone, because if they haven't responded, they're probably not in a situation where they're ready to get back with you. So I know it's going to be really scary and everything to reach out to an ex that you've hurt. But if you love them, if you truly love them and you care for them, it's something that I feel you probably owe to your ex, you know, to apologize or to reach out and make sure that they're doing okay and have that conversation. Once the conversation starts going, you know, really well, hopefully over the past couple weeks, you really need to put patience in here and go really, really slow. I can't overemphasize this enough. And you kind of want to match, you know, the tone of your ex as they're expressing their feelings and their thoughts and how things are going with you. You never want to get mad if they have told you they've moved on, because after all, this freedom that you've given them is something that you brought on by breaking up with them. It's something that they probably would not have done had you not broken up. You need to remember that you need to keep a very open mind and not get angry or lash out if they have moved on. But I think that if you really love somebody and you know you broke their heart, reaching out to them would probably be the right thing to do, especially if you left things on, you know, if you didn't have a clean breakup. Because really, hopefully what you're hoping for here is to at least, you know, shut some doors and get some closure on a messy breakup, if that's what you had. So I'd love to know if this video has helped you, you know, have the confidence or have the get the information or wisdom you need to reach out to somebody if you broke up with them and now want them back. Play it really cool, play it really, you know, go it really slow, and also make sure that you're 100% sure before you reach out to an ex. The last thing, again, that I say, you know, I'm going to say it again, the last thing you want to do with somebody you've already hurt is not be sure and risk hurting them again and again. And that's exactly why I said that 3 weeks to a month is probably really important of no contact after the breakup. No contact. I advise people that are broke up with as well, give you no contact, especially if you broke up with them. I advise all those people in my videos to never contact you. So again, it's on you, in my opinion, to reach out if you want to give them a second chance, if you want a second chance at that relationship. But be sure you let me know if you guys are in this situation and if this advice has helped you or made you feel better about reaching out to an ex where you broke their heart. I'd love to know. This is Zaxter99. Be sure you like this video if you enjoy it, if it helps you out. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my Real World Love channel right here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you think any of my videos on this channel or this channel would be of help to anybody else, please share my channel or the video that you like on your social media so that other people can watch my videos and maybe it'll help them out as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99 with Real World Love. Take care, everybody, and best of luck. Stay safe out there.